What's up, positive bitches? How are we doing today? If you're hearing this episode, then you are meant to be here, so keep listening. On that Bitches Positive podcast, sometimes we will laugh. Other times, baby, we're gonna cry. But we will always walk away feeling our most empowered positive bitch self. That is Babe in true connection with herself or himself. On this podcast, we unbecome who we are not, so we can fully step into exactly who we came here to be. I am going to ask so kindly that the Holy Spirit speaks through me today because I have things to say. Is anyone using their own damn mind anymore? Is anyone thinking for themselves when it comes to love and dating anymore? Is anyone doing it? Well, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably are. So let's keep one another sane, shall we? If you have aligned with me in this episode, it means that you are in alignment with the mass awakening of divine unions of 2025. Every single channel message I've been getting, one after the other, is this sacred union, mass awakening 2025. You are walking into a timeline this year where you are aligning with your soulmate, where you are aligning with souls who you have past lifetimes with, where you are aligning with true, authentic love, not this narcissistic mumbo jumbo, whatever it may be. You are walking in to authentic depth, love, connections in this year. With this being said, it's only natural that we wake up and smell the matrix, because you cannot simultaneously be walking into sacred divine love union and also believing the lies of the matrix that we exist within. Do you know how many lies I've heard? There's no good men out there. There's no good women out there. There's no good people out there. Everyone's taken or whatever. I don't even know what you people come up with anymore because there's too many limiting beliefs to count. The matrix wants you to believe that you can't have what you want. The matrix wants you to believe that you cannot have true love, true connection. The matrix wants you dumb, unhealthy, addicted, and powerless, so that you look to someone in authority to tell you what to do, so that you look to someone outside of yourself to dictate your actions, your morals, and your belief systems. The matrix wants you sleeping with everyone. Oh, yeah, you want to hate the patriarchy? Good. Become more like them and sleep with everyone. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. You have to think for yourself and say, wait a damn minute. Maybe believing that nothing's ever going to work out for me is not really serving me. Maybe believing that all men are trash is actually causing that to come into my existence because my belief is building my world. We have to open ourselves up to experiencing better thoughts that are going to lead us into divine union with our divine counterparts. It is time to wake up and smell the matrix for what it is. BS. It is not your truth. It's a programmed system that you can either live within or reject and say, actually, I want more. I have a list on my phone. Oh, by the way, I might be in love, but that's a story for maybe next episode. I'm just going to say my episode that I did 2025 ends. My in of being Kanye West and saying everything that's on my mind and not caring at all about any rule is serving me so well. We're going to talk about that more, but I am inspired by being in love, honestly. Did you know that one time I was at dinner? First of all, why was I at this dinner? I don't know why I was at this dinner. It was me, my mom and dad, a husband and a wife, they're friends, and then this other woman. And my mom was like, oh my God, Cece, show my friend your list that you want in your husband, because I had a very specific list. I've experienced enough in my life. I know exactly what I want now. And so I put a list on my phone. And is it long? Well, yeah, because I'm very detail oriented, and I like to say the same thing in 5 different ways to make sure that I don't leave any blank spots for the divine to, do something that I did not think about. For example, one time when I was manifesting a man's, this was during COVID, I said to myself, I would like a man I said one physical thing, get over it, over 6 foot, into health and wellness like I am, loves to read, wants to have a book club, has a relationship with God. And I got exactly that, except he was a different religion. And that was a problem for him. It's not a problem for me. My parents are two different religions, but I just knew it wasn't going to work. So I just ended it then and there because I was like, nah, I don't need to fall in love with someone and then have it not work out. My point is, you actually have to be so specific. You have to encode to the divine what it is you want to receive so it knows what to deliver to you. So my list, and you know what? If you're watching on YouTube, I'll show you. She's detailed. Oh my God. She's detail oriented. And then at the bottom, I have prayers for my future husband. Okay, so there's a lot. So my mom was like, Cece, show everyone your list. Please watch this on YouTube to see how long it is. I wrote a book, okay? Like, I write a lot. Get over it. Get over it. Doesn't matter. My mom makes me pass around my phone to show everyone, and they are laughing their asses off. They're like, oh my God, you're standard. First of all, it's literally like, has a relationship with God, cares about chemicals and foods, doesn't want to die by eating McDonald's every day. Oh, is a nerd. Thank you. Anyway, they're all laughing, and I go, I can't wait to prove all of you wrong, because you people didn't know to make a list like me, so you're not having all that you want in a partner. However, I'm different, okay? I know how this energetic universe works, and I know how to manifest what it is I want. So I'm going to get very specific, and then I'm going to say, divine, God, this is what I want, and then I'm going to let it go and say, do your best, go at it, let's receive it. I'm not kidding you. I'm literally experiencing my list in real life. Everything I know about this person so far fits into this list. My point of bringing all this up is that you cannot be married to the limiting beliefs of the matrix. There's no good women out there. There's no good men out there. There's no good relationships out there, and simultaneously be saying, and I want divine love. You have to be fearless in your faith and say, God, I know you're not going to hurt me. I know you're not going to backstab me. I know you want the best for me. Divine angels, I know you're looking out for me. I know you want me to feel loved and cherished and held. Think about if you had a child. Would you pick the worst person ever and be like, I want my child's partner to verbally abuse them every day and be inconsistent and leave them on red? Would you want that for your child? No. You are the divine's child, and the divine wants to cradle you with love. The divine wants you to have the best person for you. So tell the divine what you want. You are a co-creator. Speak out, write it down, and be so specific. Every single positive and negative experience is still a link in your chain towards your divine union. Everything that you go through is leading you towards your divine sacred union. And I know that's a fact for you if you're listening to this right now. So use your past experiences, everything you hated. What did you hate? And write down the opposite trait and make your list that you want to receive within another person. If you hated the nonchalant man, write down a chalant man. If you hated someone who was inconsistent, write down consistency. If you hated not feeling valued, seen, and loved, write down, I want to feel valued, seen, and loved. Take every negative experience that you've had and write down the opposite trait and get it together, what it is you want to experience in this reality. Before we go further into this episode, I do just want to say, if you're not yet following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me at Vibing with Cece, where I post channeled messages pretty much daily. I also have a subscription that is daily. And also, if you have not yet gotten your copy of Show Up As Her, be sure to get your copy. It's on Amazon. I will link it below. And if you've not yet gotten a magnetizing mug to manifest every single morning, then be sure to check that out. I am having a Valentine's Day love collection that's going to aid you in aligning with your divine counterpart. Okay, now let's get into the rest of this episode. I had someone DM me, you seem like a cool person. I don't want you to reply. I don't even know where this was going. I'm just letting you know that there's not many real women out there here. I go, don't believe that. I will do a podcast on this. Do not believe that lie. You have to understand that just because you've experienced not the best of people out there does not mean that there's not better. That's your limited experience. That doesn't mean that there's not good men and women out there. Every time I would hear my friends or family or anyone being like, there's no good men out there. There's no good men out there. Really, I just met another one. So explain to me that math. There's no good woman out there? Well, how do I exist? How do my friends exist? How do my family members exist? This is all lies. Maybe you're not meeting them, But that doesn't mean that they are not out there. If you are not meeting the type of people you want to meet, change the places you're going. I cannot say this anymore. Change the places you're going. If the well has run dry, go to a different location. Put yourself out there. Speak to people. Say hello. Who cares? This is not a big deal. CVC principle, choosing versus chasing. You're allowed to go up to someone you find attractive. You're allowed to say hello. I will say, I find this annoying. I'm just going to say the truth though. There's many good men that I meet and they tell me, I would have never gone up to you because I would have been too, intimidated, or I didn't want to annoy you, or I thought you were with your friends and maybe having, a girls' night. So they sometimes there's good men that sometimes won't ever say anything to you. If you see someone at a bar, I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, you'll be dead one day. Say hello. What are you doing? Say hello. That's you choosing what you want. Okay. The world is my menu. I'll choose what I want. I've said hello to many people in my lifetime. We would have a conversation and then I would decide if I wanted to continue talking to them or not. I didn't die after speaking to them. Nothing terrible happened to me. It was literally fine. You're allowed to choose. This is what I want you to understand. The CVC principle. This is on page 163 of my book. If you've not yet gotten my book, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? Get the book. Learn how to use your energy correctly. I didn't create this so I can stare at it. I already know this. I already know it. That's why I put it in a book. I made it for you to use. Use it. Okay, CVC principle 163. If you have the book, open it up, take notes. I often get asked if it's divine feminine of us to go up to men or masculine leading individuals. I'm here to share the good news. Yes, it is. There's nothing wrong with choosing who you want and creating a new cycle. However, chasing puts us back into our masculine. If chasing men worked, I would tell you to do it. If no one has said this yet, let it be known that chasing men does not work. Hello, whether you're chasing a bug or a boy does not matter. It's not going to work. It will just run away. So you don't want to chase, but that doesn't mean you have to be a sitting duck and live within the confines of a million rules. The women I witnessed chasing men never stopped chasing them. The men usually accepted the offer in front of them, but when they found an offer they deemed better, they left. Women are like driveways and men are like parking lots. Men will accept in a lot more cars than women will. Women are the choosers. We are the deciders. Okay, the men are the givers. The men didn't have to do anything, so there was no skin in the game for them. Men fall in love through investing in you. Men fall in love with you through investing in you. I'm telling you, that's the truth. The men weren't initially into those women, and then their connection never increased enough to the point where it could work. Instead of chasing, we want to choose. The world, say it with me. The world is our menu, we'll choose what we want. The world is our menu, we'll choose what we want. The world is our menu, we'll choose what we want. The true divine feminine, she really is the leader in energy, in the unseen world. She is the shaman, the bridge between dimensions. The masculine is the giver, the leader in the physical world, but not in divine union. And that's what everyone's missing. The CVC principle stands for choosing versus chasing. Choosing is aligned with the divine feminine, while pursuing is aligned with the divine masculine. One can choose a person they desire by making the first move without chasing them. What is choosing? Choosing is starting a light conversation with someone you find attractive, complimenting them while standing next to them, giving them a smile, and then refocusing back onto ourselves. This opens the door, allowing the other person to know you are interested. One time at a bar, I literally went up to someone and said, "Buy me a drink," and they happily obliged. After this, you are done. Once you've made it clear that you are willing to speak to this person, rejoin your friends on the dance floor, take a bathroom break, or literally do anything else and glue yourself to them the whole night. This allows them to come to you, chase you, hunt you. They can reside in their masculine and you can reside in your feminine. What is chasing? Chasing would be initiating the conversation, but then following them around all night, texting them first, not once, but every single day, and putting all of your focus on them. Choosing allows you to put yourself on the pedestal, while chasing puts the other person on your pedestal. Choosing is magnetic and chasing is repellent. You can choose who you want while still staying in your feminine energy and on your pedestal. What a concept. So there is nothing wrong with starting a conversation with someone. Everyone's so plagued by having a conversation. Who cares? What's the big deal? I actually want to go up to more people and say the most outlandish shit I've ever thought of in my whole entire life, just to see what their reaction is, just to feel something. I'm going to just start doing that to everyone. I don't care. and neither should you. Say it with me. The world is our menu. We'll choose what we want. Going up to someone, having a conversation with them, and just talking to a fellow human being is not going to kill you. And it literally does not mean much in the grand scheme of things. The best thing is that you find your divine counterpart and all is well. The worst thing is it doesn't work out, but still, maybe you have a good conversation. Maybe you learn something new, and there's still a link in your chain towards your divine union. So really, it can only ever work for you. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying you're allowed. You can give yourself permission to live how you want to live. With this person I recently have now, I guess, fallen in love with, whoopsie daisy, I send psychotic amounts of text messages. People are so afraid to double text. I'm going to show it on YouTube. I'm going to show you on YouTube. I text 50 things at once. See? Look at this. Not a big deal. We text each other a million things. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And you know what? Now we're in love. So, like I said, enter your Kanye era. Choose what you want, and the world is going to choose you back. In order to step into divine union, we have to reject the lies of the matrix, that there are no good people out there, that they're all taken. I'm literally a living example. They're not all taken. I literally just met another one. Even my own parents are part of this matrix at times because they had me pass around my phone to laugh at my list. And I go, watch me show you that you are in fact wrong. Watch what God's going to do in my life. I don't care what mere mortals have to say. You have an opinion? Great for you. Everyone does. But I care about what the divine has to say. And I know to trust God over anyone and everyone. God has my back more than anyone. And so God is who I look to. God is who I entrust with my relationship. God is who I look to every single day, every single night. Oh my God. I love God so much. I love Jesus so much. I love the Blessed Mother so much. I love all my angels so much. You know why? Because they're always pushing me in the right direction. They're always aligning me with the right people at the right time, and they're doing the same thing to you, but you have to allow it in. So the first point is reject the matrix. The second point is free yourself to be authentically you. If you want to say hello to someone, say hello to someone. If you want to send 50 paragraphs and that energy is being reciprocated, send the 50 paragraphs. You have to be who you are. Sometimes I go on tangents. I just get lost about ancient Egypt. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just lost in ancient Egypt. And you know what? Last night I was out to dinner with him, and this man came up to us at the dinner table and he goes, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but you were saying something about spirituality. And he goes, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And I had goosebumps. And then I looked at my date and I was like, if I give that man goosebumps, I can't imagine what I must be doing to you right now. But my point is, I say the craziest shit. Whatever is in my brain, it comes out of my mouth because I don't care. I'm not going to be anything but me. And that's how you find exactly who's yours. Instead of lying to yourself, tell yourself the truth. There are some good men out there, and there's some bad men, and there's some neutral men. There's some good women, there's some bad women, there's some neutral women. There's something of everything out there. There's something of everything out there, okay? If you repeatedly are aligning with men who are narcissists, who you don't like, who are unkind to you, whether you're using dating apps or meeting them out in person, it really doesn't matter because energy is energy. If that's happening to you, you need to work on your shadow. When I was on dating apps what was it? I guess it was like a little bit over the summer into the fall before I deleted it on 11/11. I still had parts of my shadow that were peeping out. That's why I created a shadow alchemy course. That's why I worked on shadow work. And it really changed the people I started to attract. I want you to understand a little bit of your shadow. So on page 116 of my book, I talk about the different types of people we attract. You can get the book if you want to understand all the different people. But there's one part I want to point out. We attract those who are opposite in vibration. But just bear with me here. We attract what we really want and what we really don't want. If we have an extreme hatred for rude people, we will attract rude people. Whatever traits we push down in ourselves becomes part of our shadow self. The shadow self is a part of ourselves that we deem unacceptable or unlovable and try to hide. Although we do not allow ourselves to express these traits, it does not mean we don't have the capacity to embody them. Being in denial of a trait does not mean it is not part of you. It simply means you're denying that it's there. The more I push down the part of myself that can be rude, the more I will hate rudeness in others, and the more I will attract it into my experience. We must make amends with all of ourselves. As humans, we all can be loud, but also quiet, rude, and also kind, and so on. We can experience and express a whole spectrum of characteristics. The more you allow yourself room to experience all different traits, the less you will hate them in others. And then we will discuss how to bring your shadow into the light. If you keep attracting narcissistic energies, these F-boys, whatever it is, you have to work on your shadow. The only way out is to bring your shadow to the light. No amount of dating apps or going out with your friends is going to attract a better person if you don't heal the wounds that are within you, because it will bleed into your reality and you'll start seeing your shadow self in everyone you date. The next person will be the same as the last with a different face, but with the same pattern. This is shadow work. You need to start accepting the parts of yourself that you have been pushing down, that you have been ignoring. If you have been pushing down your powerful self, you're going to keep attracting people who feed on your energy. If you keep pushing down your divine feminine force, you're going to keep attracting people who push you into a wounded space. If you keep pushing down the part of you that allows yourself to have boundaries, you will attract people who overrun any boundary before you can even think of how to speak. There's a myriad of women and men out there. Who you attract is based on your own frequency. I will say there's a sprinkle of divine timing in there as well. So if you're not meeting your person just yet, work on you, because it's only going to improve upon that which you're able to attract towards you. I think a lot of us as women are by accident attracted to narcissistic men. And maybe this goes the same for men, but I'm going to talk from my point of view. And then men, please weigh in and tell us about your experience here. We're all human. I think a lot of women are attracted to narcissistic men because on the outside, they appear very confident, and that can make a feminine energy feel safe. But this confidence is based off insecurity, and its foundation is very shaky. So it's illusionary. They are not even safe in their own body, so they can't give you safety either. And a lot of these narcissistic energies, you'll notice it's all about them. They are not really focused on giving to you. They're focused on how you can give to them. That is not the divine masculine. The divine masculine is the giver. The divine masculine wants to make sure that you feel safe, that you feel seen. The divine masculine wants to love you, wants to make you feel protected, wants to create a safe space for you to show up within every single day. The divine masculine is focused on the divine feminine. Men become really powerful and steeped in their divine masculine when they lose their ego. That's why so many men, when they go on a psychedelic trip, they have this basic understanding. And this is no hate, but it's just funny and it's true. They will come out of this experience with a basic understanding of compassion and empathy. And women are like, we learned that in second grade. I don't understand. It's just funny. But men reach enlightenment when they lose their ego. Women reach this enlightenment when they actually step into their power of who they truly are. And that can be found in creating an ego, creating your true self and standing on that pedestal. Men and women are opposite in that way. Yes, of course we're different. Of course we're different. We have different strengths and different abilities. Men are more powerful when they lose their ego because they understand the world outside of them. They understand how to become a giver. A man in a relationship is his most powerful when he loses himself, not in a negative way, but in a way where he can look at a divine feminine and become the giver, the protector, the provider. And a woman steps into her power when she focuses on herself, remembers what she came to the planet to do, steps into her mission. Let's be really clear though, this doesn't mean that a man just becomes a slave to the woman that he's in a relationship with. It doesn't mean he doesn't have a career and has goals and have friends. No, that's not what this means. It means that in his relationship, he understands how to create safety for that woman. That's what it means to give up your ego, to put her first, to look at this divine feminine and worship the divinity within her. But that doesn't mean he has no goals and no career and no friend. No, he has all those things and he knows how to put this woman first despite all of those things. If you want to step into divine union, this is about you understanding how to follow your own natural flow of energy. So when it was 11:11, I knew it was time to delete the dating apps. And I said to myself, this doesn't have to be forever, but for now, I need space from them. I followed the divine flow of energy and I worked on myself. When I ended my 7-year relationship, I did that because I was following the natural flow of energy. The energy between us died out. Naturally, the time to put that relationship to rest. If you're currently in a relationship and you know it's wrong, it's like a battery and the energy's bled out. It's time to renew your battery and follow the natural flow of energy. This energy wants you to go to a new place. The energy is always guiding you, but you have to tune in. You have to listen. There's a reason that you're being led to new places. And maybe you're being led right now to work on yourself, or maybe you're being led to go back out there. Follow the flow of energy. There's a reason that you're being swayed in a certain direction. Find out what that reason is. Don't try to push the energy or control the energy when it has stopped or died out. Instead, listen to where it's trying to lead you and follow the flow of energy. Divine union is the path less traveled because it requires you to become conscious of yourself. It requires you to look at your own shadow. It requires you to do the healing and to have patience and live in accordance with the divine, according to thy will rather than my will. It requires surrender and trust and faith. What do you need to do? You got to give yourself permission to be authentic. You have to start trusting the divine flow of your life and then follow it. You have to take aligned action. Maybe that's working on your shadow self. I'm going to put my course in the description. Again, this is not for me, for shits and gigs. This is for you to heal so you can step into divine union, so you can step into a higher plane. I see so many relationships where people are just settling and they're miserable. That's not what you came to this planet to do. If you're part of the collective that's listening to me, you are part of a collective that's meant for divine union, and I'm going to help get you there. I'm going to help you get into that space where you are in alignment with the divine union. Last year, in the beginning of the year, I told you I'm going to be your guinea pig, and I'm going to, everything I tell you, I apply in my own life. It's working really well right now. I'm not going to lie, it's working very well. You have to try this out. Your life is your own experiment and see the results that you are going to get. I'm telling you, it will change the results that you are getting. You have to understand that there is a person out there that wants to give you all their love, that wants to create safety for you, that wants to text you first every single morning, that wants to call you, that wants to bring you to the nicest places ever, that wants to give you all of their energy. You have to understand that if you're not getting that right now, that's not your person. I mean, think about it. Do you think your soulmate is like, about you? Do you think your soulmate is not really going to care about you? Do you think your soulmate's going to leave you on red and be inconsistent and nonchalant? Does that make any sense to you? Of course not. That person is your initiation to realize your own power, to do the shadow work, to put yourself on your own pedestal. That's not your soulmate. Your soulmate's going to honor your divine mission, going to put you first, going to love you, going to honor you and the divinity within you. It's going to be so easy. And I have to say, you know how they always said, when you know, you know? I was not sure about that because I didn't experience it yet. I'm okay. I think they're right. I think I'd be knowing right now. I think I'd be knowing something right now. They're right. Because every time I would go out on a date with someone, I would come home and be like, they're not my husband. And my mom would get so mad at me. She'd be like, Stacey. I would call her, I'd be like, yeah, not my husband. And she's like, stop saying that. Go out with them again. And I would force myself to go out with them again. I'm like, okay, maybe I, need more time to warm up to someone. That could be it. Whatever. I'll try it out. And I would force myself. This was last year. So that's not part of the ins for this year. That's out. Forcing myself to be out with people I don't want to be with. So I would force myself to go. But I knew, I was like, this is not my husband. Like, my husband would never say that. I asked this man, like, do you think we have past lives together? And he's like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do you want to get married? Oh, no, I don't know. Oh, that's not my husband. That's not my husband. Having to force myself, having to have a mental 30 to 60 minute conversation with myself to get myself on these dates. I'm not doing that anymore. Well, I don't have to do it anymore because I'm in love. I forgot. This episode is meant to give you faith that there are good men still out there and good women out there. They're not all taken, that there's billions of people on the planet. Get real. You're just not meeting them because you have to integrate your shadow. So take the course and get your energy together. Okay. Read the book, figure out what's going on with you. And also part of it could just be divine timing. So if you're doing the work already, you also have to have that element of trust and surrender. But I'm telling you, this year is hitting so different. Be your authentic self. Really trust your intuition. Take time to consult with the divine and say, would God want this for me? Ask your intuition, how does this feel in my body? Before you go to sleep, literally, I already told you this, but I say to myself, God, give me eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart full of discernment. Even though I was like, oh, I think I'm in love with this person. I don't care what I think I know. I don't care who I think I'm in love with. I want what God wants for me. So I consulted God and I said, God, give me eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart full of discernment. And I had a dream last night and it was pretty clear that this is good to go. We are hot to go. But I don't just trust my heart or what I think I want, because like I said, one time I fell in love with an alcoholic by accident, and that, my heart thought I wanted that, but that was not good. So it's not just about what I think Cece wants. It's about, well, what's in alignment with my greater plan? What does God want for me? Because God knows better. My ceiling is God's floor. This is a dance with destiny. It's a dance with the divine. It's understanding who you are, integrating those parts of self, and also trusting. There's a lot of things that go on with divine union, but I'm telling you, if what's happening to me right now is divine union, which I'm pretty sure it is, then it's so worth it. We're going to trust God to do whatever is meant to happen. And that's all we can ever ask for. I love you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!